Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Pantalideth here, and today I'm bringing you the second installment of the series I did on my channel just one episode before this. It's called Gears of War Warpath. This series is just me. It's going to be just me talking about the storyline in Gears of War, but not any of the storyline, none of the facts you'd see in any of the campaigns or anything like that, because you guys have already probably played the campaign, and even if that, you probably just paid attention just a tiny bit amount, like you get the basis of the story, but I'm gonna be giving you all the details of the story that you would only find in the novels or anything like that. So, in my last episode, I'll put a link down in the description. But in the last episode, I asked you guys if you had any questions. So I'll be getting to that in the episode, and also in the last episode, I talked about the Age of Armageddon. I gave you every single detail there was on the Age of Armageddon, and there wasn't much, but I gave you all of it. And I gave you very little details on the Pendulum Wars because I didn't have too much time to discuss that because I didn't have a very long gameplay for the first episode. I just kind of picked a gameplay that was relatively short because I wanted to give you the basis of the series and how it would be set up. So this time I picked an exceptionally long gameplay because I want to talk about a lot of stuff, so I'll just jump right into it. Last episode I asked you guys if you had any questions, and FWR Gaming 2012 asked, get an episode up about how the Locust came into the story. Amazing ideas for a series, dude. Sub-to-you, smiley face. So everything I'm going to be talking at first will be basically how all the events led up to the Locust coming up to the surface. So last episode I gave you details on the Pendulum Wars. So I'll give you some more details on the Pendulum Wars now. Now, when emulsion was discovered as a fuel source in 79 BE, which means before emergence, a global conflict was created in an effort to retain the political and economic power over the regions that held emulsion. Now, the coalition of ordered governments, being the supreme power in the war, had government officials fearing that the war will cause a global holocaust. So, if the events were to come to so, the great minds and leaders of Syria would be housed together to rebuild humanity in what would be later you guys would discover in the Gears of War 3 campaign as Azura. And that's the secret island that the COG built in secrecy because of to house all like the great minds and scientists in safekeeping so they could rebuild humanity, which I just explained. And so because of this, like all the Pendulum Wars since it lasted 79 years, they ended it by capturing the Hammer Dawn technology from Maris Ivo of the UIR, the Union of Independent Republics. They captured all that. Adam Fenix perfected it. Adam Fenix perfected it and launched it into space and used it as a countermeasure to make the UIR surrender. So this is huge because that ended the war. But while all this war is going down, nobody knows about the Locust yet. And like the Locust always just used to be fairy tales in Syrian culture. Like there was only one fairy tale known about it. Like the Locusts were basically named the Boogeyman because they'd steal children in the dead of night that were being misbehaving. So it's basically the Boogeyman, except the fairy tales spawned out of real occurrences that the Locusts really would go and capture the children at night. They'd come up to the surface at night and capture the little kids, which is it's scary as fuck if you think about it. But damn, that's good pop. But if you think about it, that's scary as fuck. So nobody but certain cultures really knows about the Locust, and even now it's kind of lost as a fairy tale. So down in the Hollow, there is a Locust civil war going on. The civil war between the Lambent and the Locust for basically for the territory of the Inner Hollow. where the locusts live. And so as they're fighting for their survival, humanity's fighting for their survival as well up on the surface. So all the pendulum, the Locust Lambent Civil War and the Pendulum Wars is going on basically at the same time, except they're not really, you know, intervening with each other. So as soon as the Pendulum Wars ends, the Locust Civil War is still going on, and so the Queen Mira invades the surface in hopes to gain some just to let the Lambent have the hollow so they can have the surface. So she invades the surface. Like, as soon as the Pendulum Wars ends, there's only 6 weeks of peace between the Locust Human War and the Pendulum Wars, which really sucks because they were just on the on the brink of rebuilding humanity and recuperating from everything. Like, okay, so the COG was unable to hold back the Horde, losing all they gained in the Pendulum Wars. The COG war machine was able to mobilize from the Pendulum Wars, allowing them to quickly regroup and counter the Locusts during E-Day, resulting in a new long war of extermination. So that's kind of how the Locust came into the story. FWR Gaming, I hope that answered your question. Once again, if you guys have any questions, leave them down below. But on to my second topic of this episode is Azura. I thought this was a pretty good topic to use for my second topic, because a lot of people are really confused on what Azura is and how it came into play in the Gears of War story. Now, for 6 weeks, the COG ruled all of Sierra before Emergence Day, and just as they start to rebuild and recuperate, you know, the planet was invaded by the Locusts. And even before all that happened, they had the chairman before Chairman Prescott was Chairman Delisle, and he ordered the building of this huge, just tropical resort, like the beautiful tropical resort on the island of Azura. It was an undiscovered island at the time, and so it had no inhabitants on it. So they just went in and built this huge, magnificent, glorious resort for all the great minds of Sierra, all the scientists, and all that other stuff. All the scientists that they had to, you know, they had to save them so that when everybody else was extinct, humanity, they could basically just rebuild humanity with their smarts. Now, so he built that, and he started kidnapping these people to bring them to this place that you could only reach by boat, because you could only reach it by either boat, helicopter, or a submarine. The submarine was probably the easiest way to get in, authorized way to get in. So Chairman Delisle just kidnapped all these people to bring them to this resort. Then, as soon as Chairman Delisle died, Chairman Prescott came into power and just resumed on doing exactly that. He died 2 years after E-Day, and then Chairman Prescott came into power. And then, so Chairman Prescott kidnapped Adam Fenix. Like, during the Battle of Asphalt Fields, Adam Fenix sent a distress call to Marcus, telling him that he had something of great importance to the COG to be retrieved. So Marcus, despite being in the middle of a huge, epic battle, and playing a key role for the COG forces against the Locusts in that battle, defied his orders and deserted his post, rushing to his father to save his father. And unfortunately, Marcus, he was too late, because a burning helicopter hit the tower, causing it to land on top of Adam, supposedly killing him and leaving Marcus and Dom to escape the place. Now, this act cost Marcus his army career, and sentenced him to life in prison, but he only got 4 years in prison because of the Locust invaded the prison, and Dom helped them out. But um, so however, Adam did not die, and he was in fact rescued by the Onyx Guard to Prescott and was taken to the island of Azura, where he was held prisoner and forced to work with scientists on a ton of different projects to save humanity. And for years, Adam tried to contact Marcus, but he couldn't ever since Prescott had him kidnapped. So, in the Maelstrom that when you first see Azura in Gears of War 3 campaign, there's this huge hurricane that's going around Azura. You're like, wow, that's pretty convenient. Nobody can get in. But later on, you find out that it's a Maelstrom generator. That it's basically this huge thing that generates a storm around the entire place. So you can't get in by helicopter or boat. You have to do it by submarine. Not that anybody has knows about Azura, but you have to get there by submarine, so that's what you do in the Gears of War 3 campaign. But Adam Fenix actually invented that Maelstrom generator, because when he was kidnapped, he did not at all want to be there, because he wanted to be back on the mainland with Marcus, and to make sure he was safe, because he was a distant father, yet he was very caring for his son, which I thought was actually kind of heartwarming, as nerdy as that sounds. It was pretty nice to know that Adam Fenix loves Marcus, but that is really nerdy. Holy shit. Anyway, he invented the Maelstrom generator, which generates the huge storm around Azura that nobody can get past. And he also invented that somehow he invented that huge ass machine that sent the pulse waves all around Sierra. I couldn't believe he invented that, because he has so little resources on that island that I don't even know how he would be able to, build the thing. Like, how did he build that? He doesn't have any construction workers with him, so that's the only thing I'm kind of lost on. But other than that, this story is kind of cool. But so that's kind of the background of Azura. They kept it absolutely classified until the very last moment. They absolutely had to, that they had to tell Marcus about it, or else they'd all be extinct by now. So, and the reason Adam Fenix died at the end of the Gears of War 3 campaign, sorry, spoilers. The only reason he died was because he injected himself with the parasite emulsion that he discovered was a parasite. He injected himself with it to test it and make sure it worked, like test how it mutates and all that other stuff. So I'm gonna be talking about a lot of different stuff in the next episode, whenever that might come out. So this gameplay is wrapping up, and if you guys have any kind of questions at all on anything you want me to clarify, I'll do an episode dedicated to you, and I'll give you a shout out in the episode, and say your name and what you asked and everything. Like FWR Gaming 2012, you should check out his channel, because he has a pretty funny machinima up on there. He's not part of machinima, but he made like this funny skit with Gears of War characters. But anyway, this has been Pantalideth, and I'll talk to you guys later.